So Ruben did bring something up to me earlier, and I'm gonna be real when he was absolutely right. One of the reasons why the best time to work out in the morning is because you're gonna have more energy. There's no way around it. I'm gonna be real with y'all. You gotta really think about how stressful your day is gonna be, whether it be mentally or physically. You're gonna have to use whatever energy you have left if you're working out in the evening. Because right now, we working out late. So I definitely feel where you're coming from, Rube, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you on that. The best time to work out is in the morning. But I always try to get people to understand if you can't make it in the morning, the best time is the best time you can get in. We gotta keep it real with that too. So scientifically, if you wanna break all that math down, yeah, because you got more energy, it's gonna be a little bit better. But in reality, if you only have the evenings available, you gotta work with what you gotta work with. And then I always say in those scenarios, just make sure you prep the body enough. If it's a scenario, did you eat enough? Did you hydrate enough? Because now you have enough time to make sure that those things are taken to effect. More so than in the morning. If you're somebody like myself, I generally work out fasted if I'm working out in the morning. So I gotta make sure I eat good and hydrate well before the workout, and I gotta make sure I eat good that night, because 9 out of 10, I'm not eating in the morning when I work out. I'm gonna be real with y'all. The only thing I'm generally doing is hydrating my body properly. Another thing too, I do like to give a disclaimer. Generally, when I'm starting off to kind of accelerate myself a little bit faster, remember I told y'all I only use BCAAs one time throughout the year? This would generally be the time that I actually use BCAAs. I'm gonna be real with you. To kind of accelerate my body because it helps with the hydration and it does help with promote with the muscle growth. So for me, the fatiguing is a little less harsh because I'm reintroducing my body to heavier weight. But one thing I did differently this off season that I don't generally do is I always did my last set as my heaviest weight, and I did a lot more time and attention. So I do understand that my body can't handle a lot of this stuff. The only thing that's going to be challenging with reintroducing my body to deadlifts or squats is going to be the posterior chain being challenged. Because remember, when you're doing machine work, you're not challenging the posterior chain because the machine is actually helping you stabilize all of that. So that's going to be the biggest part of just reintroducing my body and my spine, for real, to this new movement. Because this is a new movement. I haven't done this since June. But like I said, slow step your way into it. Listen to your body and understand when you're doing too much. And one thing I haven't talked about so far is make sure when you're training by yourself, take them goddamn clamps off too. Because if you got to bail out, all you got to do is shift it to the left and shift it to the right, or shift it to the right and shift it to the left to get the weight off. So that way you can save yourself one more time. Because some of us like to do, I call it raw dogging, without the setup and got the clamps on. And do understand, if you can't roll that shit off your back, I'm not a fan of doing that, me personally. Some people are able to do that, and if you want to do that, go ahead and have fun with that. But I don't like using that type of technique for me personally. That's something a little unusual for me, so I like to make sure I set up appropriately. But let's get to it. This is gonna be the top weight, man. We not going no heavier than this. And now you can actually laugh at me, bro, because I used to talk so much shit about doing this type of weight, right? But now look at me now, starting all over again. And that's not a problem. And that's why I always say, for me, if you notice, I take a large amount of time to get stronger. That's why I look a lot more defined when it's time to cut. That's why I've been trying to tell you the whole time. I spend literally until September is when I start prepping myself, but October is the first phase of me lifting heavy until June. I'm lifting heavy until June. So that whole time my body's being prepped. I don't like the fast pace of the first few months, but by the time we hit November, December, we should be cranking weight. That's another reason why I think about it. When we was in retro fitness, you was having fun. Yeah. When you see me, I'm gonna shoulder press 90s, and then I'm gonna go straight into a plate with dips. I mean, not dips, but pull-ups. I was able to do that because I prepped my body those few months before we started doing it. And that's the same thing we're gonna do right now. Let's get it. Woo! This shit feel real different now. Smooth 10. Smooth 10, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. That bitch is struggle right now. That bitch is struggle. You feel the difference when you take that motherfucking weight off your back. Cause I ain't no better feeling than when these goddamn squats tax you. And I feel taxed. Woo! You see, I feel taxed. I feel good, but I can't wait to get back to 315. I'm gonna be real with you. My traps aren't strong enough right now to be able to handle the weight too. That's one area I noticed I've been slipping on too. Gotta throw them shrugs back in there, as well as farmer walks. But I'm gonna be real with you. When you reintroduce your body to this weight, you get fucking humbled quick. But I'm gonna be real with you. I don't want you to go to that. I don't want you to go to that. We're gonna take a quarter off, because the next exercise, we still kind of gonna do something similar to this. We're gonna do a similar movement.
There's another one after this?
Yeah, but it was gonna tax the body differently. We're gonna do pendulum squats. You gonna fuck with those. You gonna fuck with those, because it's gonna hit more glute. You're gonna feel a little bit of hamstrings, but it's still gonna load the quads. But it's not gonna be as stressful as the bar being on your back. Because I'm gonna be real with y'all. That motherfucker heavy right now. I can't wait to get back to what we get. And then I always say too, when we get to this particular weight, this is when I generally wear a weight belt anyway. So I have that's just me personally. When I can, don't get me wrong, I can move the weight without the weight belt when I prep my body, but me personally, just to make sure the lower back and the spine is safe, I would rather use a weight belt. This is me personally. But let's get it.